It's a beautiful day here in Florida, so I thought I would talk to you from my front porch and a little bit about what do you do if you're thinking about moving in the new year? How can you be planning now? And this really applies to any time that you're thinking about moving, but it especially is hitting me now because so many people are thinking, let me get through the holidays, let me get into January, and then I'm going to put my house on the market. So what should you be doing today? What should you be thinking about today in order to prepare for that move? My name is Carolyn Smith. I'm the team leader of the coastal estate team at Compass. I've been selling real estate here on the Space Coast for almost 18 years. And so I want to share with you some thoughts that I have when I'm telling people what to do to prepare. So number one is that you have had your home for however long you've had it. You've lived in it. You've got your junk drawer. You've got things shoved into closets. And maybe you have a few extra knickknacks sitting around that really, they're great, but maybe for sale, not so great. You're going to be moving. Remember, you're not going to be living in this house anymore. This is now just somewhere that you're staying until you sell it and you move on to your next adventure. So you have to be thinking about, I need to pack things away. I need to give things away. I need to throw things away. And that's what you should be doing now to prepare to put your home on the market in 2026. So if you don't need it, you don't want it, you haven't looked at it in a year, maybe you want to give it away or throw it away. If it's something you want to take with you, you're definitely keeping, but you don't need it right now, it's not adding for someone looking at the home, it's not adding value, maybe now is a really good time for you to pack that up and store it away. So where do you store it away, you ask? Do you have a big closet? Is it something you can store in the garage? In Florida, we have to be careful. There is a lot of humidity. Maybe you want to get a storage unit and rent a storage unit for a few months, put it in there. Remember, people are going to be understanding that you're moving, but we don't want boxes laying around the house. So just be aware of that. Just have a plan in place. And that's the number one thing you're going to do is give it away, throw it away, or pack it away. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to clean. And I know you're a clean person. Everything's neat. You might even have a cleaning person who comes in and helps you. I get it. But we're talking about a deep clean, the things that you don't do every day. So what things would that be? Windows, exterior and interior doors. How often do you clean those? The front of your cabinets, your baseboards, your fans, your light switches and electrical outlets. You would not believe how many dirty light switches we see when we're showing homes. Make sure you're cleaning those. So anything and everything that you would want to be clean if you were buying a new home and you're thinking, what a pain. It is. A clean house is going to show better. It's also going to sell faster. So take the time, do the cleaning, and don't forget things like carpets, flooring, grout. Maybe you need to have your grout cleaned, professionally cleaned even. Maybe you need to bring in a steam cleaner and clean your carpets, but don't forget your flooring. Next, we're going to talk about the maintenance issues. And you may have a great, well-maintained home and you don't need to do anything. And that's the case for some people. But for most of us, there's little things that we know, like, hey, that door squeaks when I open and close it, or I have a loose doorknob or something like that. There's little maintenance things around the house. Those are the things that you want to do now. First of all, it's going to save you trouble when you have your inspection. Even though they might be little things, you don't want them to appear on the inspection report. Go ahead and take care of them now. You could have larger maintenance items that you want to think about doing. Let's say your pool resurface needs to be done, and it's not something that can be done in a few years. It is like something that needs to be done last year. Maybe you want to think about doing that before you put your home on the market, because that's a big expense to the buyer, and they may deduct more money when they're calculating your offer than actually the cost of doing the pool. So go ahead and get those things done now. Some people like to bring in an inspector, have their home professionally inspected. That is up to you if you choose to do that or not. I know some realtors advocate for that. I am one who thinks if that's something you want to do, but remember, you have to disclose all known defects. I'm not saying don't disclose things. I'm saying once you know that something's wrong, you're going to need to fix it or you're going to need to disclose it. Of course, it probably will come out in the buyer's inspection anyway, but just something to be aware of. Guess what? Showings will be inconvenient for you. No matter how prepared you are, it's just inconvenient, and it's not any fun to have strangers walking through your home. So the best way to just be able to get up and go is to have a plan in place. Number one is, how much notice do you need for your showings? For most people, it's nice to have day ahead notice. For some people, they're like, I'm ready anytime. I can just go anytime. Usually those are the people without kids or dogs or cats or whatever. People without pets, people without kids. They're like, oh, my house is always perfect. I can get up and go. But for most of us, we need a little notice. So do you need day ahead notice? And then when you have the day ahead notice, do you have a plan? What are you going to do with the things that you have out that you really don't want to keep out all the time? Where are you going to stash those items? So you need to have that in mind. What will you be doing with your pets? What will you be doing with your children? Where are you going to go when there's a showing? How long of a showing window are you allowing? Generally recommend to try and give an hour of a showing window, and that's because usually the buyer is looking at more than one home. They're not just looking at your house. And the timing of getting them there exactly in a half-hour window can be tough. And if a buyer really loves your home, they may stay for more than half an hour. So giving an hour window is great if you can do it. So try and make that a priority. The other thing, and this is super important, if you have valuables, jewelry, things that are easily picked up, and I'm not saying that it's a danger to have people tour through your home. Realtors are very good about staying with buyers. This is not a normal occurrence to have things go missing. Just protect yourself though, just in case. Do you have a safe? Do you have a safe deposit box, or do you want to get one? If you have medications, controlled medications that you want to maybe either put in a safe or a safe place, I always recommend that. Just put those away for showings. Don't have them easily accessible. In today's market, presentation matters more than ever. So what your home looks like, not just when they're walking through, but in those photos, in those videos, in the video that the agent takes because they have an out-of-area buyer, which actually happens a lot. All of those things matter. So we want to be ready. We want to ensure that your home is presenting itself in its best light. When you have the photographer coming, maybe your realtor has a list how to prepare for professional photographs. I have a list like that. Most realtors have a list like that. Think about a model home. A model home appears as if someone lives there. I don't want you to get rid of all your personal photos unless you don't want those out. But in general, we want to see that someone lives there, that they love it, that this is their home and they're sharing it with you, and you can also feel at home there as a buyer. So don't take everything off the counters. Leave some things up. Maybe they're decorative things that you didn't have there before you made that trip to Home Goods, but make sure that it looks cozy, comfortable, warm, inviting. Don't leave candles lit during a showing. That is dangerous. No air fresheners, please. I don't want it to smell like you're covering something up. I just want it to be like, this is how we live, but better. I would say to you that all the prep work, all the thinking, all the things you're going to do before you list your home and during the time that your home is listed, they're important and they matter, and they're going to bring you a faster sale and a higher sale price. It's just the way it works. So yes, it's an anxiety producing experience. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to clean my house. I don't want to get my house ready. I don't want to leave my house for showings. Can I just sit on the back porch? All of these things. I get it. So my advice is do all the things that you would want to see in a home that you're buying. And I guarantee that you're going to get a better result than if you don't do those things. Okay. My name is Carolyn Smith. Again, I am the team leader of the Coastal State Team with Compass. I have been selling real estate here on the Space Coast for almost 18 years. I would love to help you answer any questions that you have. I do a video usually weekly on Space Coast lifestyle. If there are things that you're wondering about the Space Coast or real estate in general, please drop me a comment or send me a note. I would love to focus on that for a future video for you. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Cheers.